Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Church in Fall River. Yeah.
Welcome. Welcome to this beautiful church, this beautiful site, this beautiful winter, right? With the white snow and the trees covered in white and the beautiful cardinals that you might see flying around in the white. It is a good day, and we'll enjoy the sunshine and we'll enjoy each other. So welcome here this morning. Now, please, if there are any announcements.
I said, welcome to Lisa. Thank you for taking your life in your hands and driving the whole way.
You can come up here if you want.
Can you hear me? Oh, you can hear. And the weather.
Project.
I'm trying to project. So the weather has cooperated with you for the beauty part of today's sermon and the joy. Thank you for coming. Next week, Ken Reeves will be here again. Let me tell you what he's going to say. So the name of the sermon is going to be United Walking Before. It has a claim. And the blurb of his sermon is the service tells the story of an unfound hero who, in the course of what he expects to be an ordinary birthday, encounters death and life and emerges with destruction. He relates his story along with instructions on how to talk about it. So, there you go.
And I just want to let you all know that you should have the words to a song called "On Hold" and "Hold On." I mean, and the extinguishing of the chalice words that we'll say together at the end of the service. Though you should have those two things on your seats along with your order of service. Okay.
I'm frozen and a couple of other things, so she's supposed to do that. A little keeper, not lots. Thank you, thank you.
And now please rise in body or spirit for the chalice lighting words.
So we'll go the old fashioned way.
Yes. That's what they're for.
These maybe should be removed.
And then the side, people up there, I free us to light the candles. So while you're.
And the beauty of this flag.
Place in the farm. It shows those who we are. And we chronic the possibilities, each other's vital health.
Now let us join together in our invocation, number 561. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. And rise in body and spirit for our first hymn, number 361. And now let us say our affirmation number 470 together. We affirm the unfailing renewal of life, rising from the earth and reaching for the sun. All living creatures shall fulfill themselves. We affirm the steady growth of the human companionship, rising from the ancient cradles and reaching for the stars. People the world over, the ways of understanding. We affirm a continuing hope. And now we'll join in our antiphonal reading, and then we're going to read War and Peace up here. What's that? Number 555. Some things will never change. The voice of forest water in the night, a woman's laughter in the dark, the clean, hard rattle of raked gravel, the cricketing stitch of midday in hot meadows, the delicate web of children's voices in bright air. The glitter of sunlight on roughened water, the glory of the stars, the innocence of morning, the smell of the sea and harbors. The feathery blur and smoky buddings of young boughs, and something there that comes and goes and never can be captured. The thorn of spring, the sharp and tongueless cry. The leaf, the blade, the flower, the wind that cries and sleeps and wakes again. The trees whose stiff arms clash and tremble in the dark, and the dust of lovers long since buried in the earth. All things proceeding from the earth to seasons, all things that lapse and change and come again upon the earth. These come up from the earth that never changes. They go back into the earth that lasts forever. The tarantula, the adder, and the asp will also never change. But under the pavements trembling like a pulse, under the buildings trembling like a cry, under the waste of time, under the hoof of the beast above the broken bones of cities, there will be something growing like a flower, something bursting from the earth again, forever deathless, faithful, coming into life again, like it. Blessed be. Now let us rise in body or spirit for our next hymn, number 182.
Thank God, you know this one very well, so,
Good job. During this cold season we call winter, we have time to think, to read, to rest, to find the love and the beauty. When the snow is knee-high and the outside world doesn't call us to our chores, we can warm up our home, smell the pot of hot soup, and we can see all around us memories of love and beauty. For the love and beauty of winter, I share this experience I had a month or so ago. We saw a photo of weeds by the roadside. They were ensconced in ice. The sun shone perfectly, making them glimmer, and a backdrop of shiny white snow and a field behind them added to the softness of the scene. I was reminded that beauty can be found just about anywhere, even in the midst of cold, icy weeds. It's been quite a winter, with enough snow to walk in the woods and cover every single tree branch as far as the eye can see. Colder than it's been in a while. But we are blessed with things to keep us warm, a bubbly coat and homemade mittens, hot soup waiting on the counter at home. Then, as luck would have it, a bright red cardinal standing in a bush not too far ahead, showing off his shiny feathers. It's a beautiful thing. And speaking of red, Norwegian designed red hats with a tassel and a pom-pom at the end, worn as signs of resistance during the Nazi occupation, have been reintroduced by a company selling the pattern for these crocheted hats. All proceeds are going to the immigrant aid agencies, and from there distributed to those affected by ICE activity. I read that the Nazis eventually outlawed the wearing of the red hat. Imagine they were so afraid of a hat, they outlawed it. That shows just how powerful even the smallest thing can be. That's a beautiful thing. As we experience the most difficult winter in a while, we are witnessing unbelievable acts of violence by powers that be in our country. Craig Rowland's words for extinguishing the chalice today are titled, "Where Holiness is Hard to Find." And it's true that we are seeing so many who have lost their view of that which is holy. Especially in Minnesota, ICE agents have lost their way. They have become bullies because of a power sanctioned by the powers that be. They are showing what truly can happen when there are no consequences or no conscience. People, citizens are being hurt, sometimes fatally. Babies and children are being treated without care. Children can't go safely to school. And people who want simply to live their lives are afraid to go out to their jobs. And after seeing or hearing about this grievous behavior every single day, believing in beauty is hard. Yet there are also people who have not forgotten, people who still find the holy. When an ICE agent slipped on the ice and fell, he was struggling to get himself back up. When a protester walked over and helped him up. When asked why she did this, she replied, "Human. I see human first." That's a beautiful thing. Now, a group that also sees human, a group of Buddhist monks, have been walking through many of our southeastern states from Fort Worth, Texas, due to arrive in Washington, D.C. this week. 2,300 miles. And they have a dog with them too. On January 12th, they went through Selma, Alabama, crossing the Edward Pettus Bridge. They walk for peace, and they walk for truth, and they walk for love. Now, those all are beautiful things. During the horrendous things that have been happening in Minneapolis, several of our Unitarian Universalist ministers and ministers of other faiths flew there to support the protesters and the residents, and those who were trying to keep the peace, those who were trying to be sure no more neighbors or friends were killed, were supported by these ministers. And when another neighbor, Alex Preddy, was killed, our fellow Americans, citizen or not, cried and screamed. They held peace vigils in 2 below weather in his memory. They spent weeks sharing who he was and searching for the real truth about how that happened. And some of the ministers who were supposed to return home that day stayed another night to support the neighbors of Alex Preddy. Those ministers have not forgotten where the holiness is. And that is a beautiful thing. Neighbors are picking up groceries for their neighbors of color who are afraid to go out. Neighbors are standing at school bus stops watching their neighbors' children. Neighbors are being more than neighborly. They are godsends. People are singing beautiful songs. Neighbors are creating spontaneous marching bands. Just think about that. All beautiful things. And so it's winter. Let us not forget the beauty we can find in this season, even though a lot of people don't like it. Perhaps like Robert Frost, who saw and stopped by the woods on a snowy evening. He wrote, "Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though he will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds, the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep." He did stop quickly to see the beauty, and his horse even reminded him that they needed to do some things. So unfortunately, he had to move on quickly. But let us not move on quickly. Let us stop a while for the love and the beauty of winter. Watching to see a deer and her doe lope down the road with a backdrop of snow-filled trees, knowing she can find drinking water in my backyard. And for the love of winter, knowing the eagle that flies into the woodlands, a grove of trees surrounded by evergreens is creating a nest for its babies. And for the love of another year of blizzards of snow, I found myself skiing down the slope backwards and had to cause myself to fall so as not to hit the trees. I was helped back up on my feet by a stranger. For the love of help from a stranger whom I have not forgotten. Hence, let us be sure not to forget those around us who still tune into the holiness, because it's a beautiful thing. Now, I remember during COVID, especially at the beginning, when it was hard to stay in the house or to not worry when going out, my minister, Reverend Kim Crawford Harvey, encouraged her congregation to look for the good. In turn, I believe I encouraged you and all those I serve to look for the good. During times such as this, I can't think of a better activity, especially if we can add to it. Let's look for the beauty and the holy and the good. That would be a beautiful thing. My dear friends, I surely am not asking you to turn a blind eye to the atrocities that are happening every day. We must face that as well, mourn for it, cry for it, so it doesn't continue to bounce around the back of our thoughts, constantly holding us hostage. What I'm asking of you is to take the cold, deep snow of the winter to heart. Love it, even if only from your window, for it has beauty and peace and healing power. It is a beautiful thing. Ice skating, skiing, sledding, walks with cardinals, the greatness of winter, cold, fresh air, twinkling icicles, fireplace fires, hot chocolate, contemplation, a good book, crock-pot meals, snowmen, candles, and snowball fights, and snow angels, bubbly coats, and homemade mittens. Can we use the beauties of a cold, cold winter to soothe us? the lope of a deer and her doe, a neighbor's snowy wonderland, the crunch of the snow under our boots, the homemade mittens. And can we use the actions of those who still see human, strangers who help strangers, those who march for their neighbors and hold vigil, soothe us? Yes, I think we can. And that is a beautiful thing. So before we close, let's find the holy here. There are many churches singing a song that the protesters are singing now. It's called Hold On and was written by Heidi Wilson, a Vermont-based songwriter and song leader. Please rise and let us join together.
I played one time, but we'll sing for.
May it be so. Now it's time to share our joys and concerns. Please let us know what's in your heart today.
Thank you for this, because I find myself angry every day.
I know.
And that's one of the reasons I came through whatever this is up here before this day to be here, because it helps to believe that. So, thank you very much.
Go fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the New England Patriots going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We got the Boston Celtics going against the New York Knicks for number one spot in the playoffs. I mean, yeah, that's true.
What are the Bruins doing?
Well, they're on vacation now.
Oh, okay, lucky.
We must say, God bless the Olympics. The USA is doing strong. There's such a joy. It's going to be on for the next couple of weeks. I've been watching it since 6 o'clock in the morning, every day if I have to. But USA Olympics, there we go.
That's nice.
I'll give you a little info about today's music. I started hosting each week, and the person who asked me about it has been interested, so I'm not sure if that's a good sign or bad sign. But ripping on the beauty thing, the tunes today, the first one was a song called "You Are Too Beautiful" by Rogers and Hart from a movie called Hallelujah, I'm a Mom, and originally sung by Al Jolson. Then, of course, you may have recognized Joe Cocker, actually, that "You Are Too Beautiful," so beautiful, sung by Joe Cocker, written by Louis Preston. The offertory is going to be a Navajo prayer called "Now I'm Walking in Beauty." And then the last one is a Gordon Lightfoot song called Beauty. So I was working on that game.
I have one here from Al. He's at home. He says, as a nation, we should have never allowed 20 million illegal immigrants into this country without the proper vetting. They have the opportunity to court with a stipend of $10,000 and apply to asylum properly. Here they have a large number of subversive people from other countries allowed in, and we need to find out who they are and where they are. It is unjust to allow people who break the law and proper procedures to reap the benefits of U.S. citizenships before all people waiting to come here through the proper procedures. Those are been like Al.
So, so no, that's pretty much, get back again.
Everybody knows that, that's pretty much. That is.
Potluck dinner today. Oh, I guess you guys at home luck out.
So we were talking about beautiful winter and we feed the birds all year long, Catherine. Just be happy.
I feed the birds too.
John Paul and morning, yeah, who responded here. And you see these are wonderful birds too. Usually when they fly over, everybody, all the squirrels and the birds hide, but these two didn't make it this week, so we were a little bit, and we understand everybody needs to eat. And we don't want to feed the birds to be the predators. So it's a hard thing to do. Please.
And for all the silent joys and concerns in our hearts and in our world, let us think about those things and maybe at some point share them with somebody.
Well, the one thing he said was, may our hearts and prayers be with the two police officers who were shot this morning.
Thank you.
They both survived, but that's, police officers are a community.
Yes. Now for our meditation, I have switched around the moment of silence. So it's not what it's in your order service. I've put the moments of silence after the meditation. And then after that, we'll sing our pastoral hymn. Okay. So place your feet flat on the floor. Take a deep breath and relax your body. Close your eyes as you are comfortable. Imagine the view from your window after the big storm 2 weeks ago. Shut everything else out and take in the view. Remembering that snow doesn't exist unless it's warmer. Let the view warm your souls. Imagine a walk in the woods, the crunch of snow echoing through the trees, and then quiet, and then crunch. Imagine your favorite bird in a bush near you, looking with welcome, not afraid. Allow it to hypnotize you with its beauty as it eventually flies off, swerving up and down. Take a deep breath and move your body. Come back into this sanctuary. Open your eyes as you're ready. And let us move into a moment of silence together. And now please remain seated for our next hymn, number 123, Spirit of Life. Every Sunday you come to church with faith that you will be moved in one way or another. This is good, as is your sharing your bounty, also a good practice. The offering will now be given and received. And if you're not too tired by now, please rise again for our final hymn, number 326. As we receive this, remember also to take the warmth and love we have found here today. It's a beautiful thing.